Hey everybody, my name is Braden. Welcome back to another video. Today, I am going to be going through my notes, I guess, but what I'm really doing is I'm going to be writing my new universe. So if you didn't know, I like to write, I like to read, which is something I do. I think everybody kind of does. I mean, I don't read all the Hunger Games books when I was younger or anything, or I don't currently read like Colleen Hoover casually and stuff like that. But I have read stuff like Diary of an Oxygen Thief because I was curious on why somebody could perceive the world that way. And I've read like Spider-Man stories because that's what I like. And also I've just done a lot of research, I read articles and stuff, you know what I mean? I've read a lot of words with my head just in a row. So I feel like that's underrated. A lot of people don't reference that. Okay. So what I like to write though is me as Spider-Man. And I guess I wrote stories like my whole life about myself. Really, it's just like a projection of myself, and it's a way to mirror what I'm feeling and seeing in the world into that. I don't like to call it a projection. That's just the easiest way to say it to an audience, I assume. But really, it's more of a mirror, a reflection of everything I'm feeling, and the only thing that can hold it is something mythic like that, like a superhero story. It's just a good medium, and I'm sure that's why superheroes were invented in the first place. So it's oh my gosh, I have this idea. I saw a freaking cardinal in the woods. It's wouldn't that be such a cool superhero? The human cardinal or something like that. Just make your own thing, and I'm sure there already is 5 other superheroes with cardinal in their name. But that's the thing. You just got to start. You got to make it your own. You gotta build on that. Human cardinal, he's the start of the universe. No, we're not doing that. This is not a human cardinal video. I don't even know who that character is. But it's why don't you just make your own characters like that? Why don't you start your own universe? You have so many ideas, so many good ideas at that. I don't know. I guess I just resonate with these certain characters specifically, like Spider-Man. So relatable, and I'm not just I'm Spider-Man. The way that some guys make their profile picture Batman, and even girls, and they're I'm Batman. And it's what are you even saying that for? Do you even know anything about Batman? Because I actually do kind of care about that. I don't know, is that weird? I like the Batman edit today. It's just about him not killing. That's what I care about when I think about Batman. He's mentally unable to kill because he's literally traumatized because his parents died in front of him when he was an orphan. So that's why he's Batman. So that way nobody has to go through what he went through. That's so powerful. And it's not because if he kills somebody, then he'll just become a serial killer and he'll be a villain. He'll be like them. No, it's not like that. It's not he's holding himself back, even though in a sense he would be. No. He just chooses not to. It's the right thing to do. That's what I love about superheroes. Choices, doing the right thing. We're going to use Times New Roman. Size 11 font. Okay. First, we're going to have to use a title right here. Normal text. Title. Let's go back to Times New Roman. Put it in the middle. What are we thinking about this series? So, I've had multiple ideas for years for this DC series. And I've tapped into elements of it. I wrote this whole arc where I am Batman Beyond. It's just me, but Batman. How I did Spider-Man. I just did Spider-Man, and I said, at one point I had a girlfriend, and I asked her, and I'm do you think I could be Spider-Man? Because the thought is it's I'm reflecting to myself with my partner. I'm hey, I kind of believe in myself like this. Do you see me like that too? And she did. She said she did, and I appreciate that a lot. That she said that because well, this is where I am because of all that. You know what I mean? I just to be thankful for where I'm at in life all the time, right? I hope just like me being thankful for that all the time, somebody else can see that and they're like, well, I should really take this in. Anyways, okay, so I don't have a name for this series. Holy type. But the character I like the most in DC, if you wanted to know, is Impulse. Besides, like, Batman's cool and the Robins are cool, but Impulse is like the Flash, and the Flash is so freaking cool too. So what I like about Impulse is it's kind of like younger Flash. He's got a name. It's like a superhero name. It's got impact in it. It's got Impulse. I like the whole concept and idea of his character, that he is impulsive, but it's not really like that. But that it could be that, and that can just mean so many things if you take that apart. Because the way I make him, because now while I'm writing, when I wrote Batman Beyond, I eventually adapted it because I thought it would be such a cool concept to have Impulse and Batman be together. So it'd be like a Batman and Impulse series. I think that's so cool. It'd be like it's almost like Impulse is Batman's Robin temporarily, at least, or I don't even know if it's temporarily. Like, that's just what it is. Like, he's the speedster of Gotham, or the speedster of Neo Gotham at that, of Gotham City. Neo Gotham is what you call it in Batman Beyond. And I was just torn between those two ideas. Like, I kept writing Batman, but then I kept like I wanted to be Impulse so bad. I wanted to have super speed, just because like it solves so many problems. I don't know how else to explain it. Ultimately, I want the powers. I want the super speed because I just feel like that's me. That's my character, and it just makes a lot of sense. And I like the whole idea of Batman and Impulse. And then, me personally, I think I could be somebody like a Robin or a Batman Beyond, but if we're thinking about like, I don't know, human scale, I don't think that's the right word, but just like, could you be Batman or could you be the Flash, Braden? Like, what are you most likely to actually be? And then I would just think myself, oh, but what does that mean? Probably not dark and brooding, and both my parents died, and I'm an orphan, and I'm really rich. So that's Batman, and I'm more likely fitting into the Impulse stereotype. But if I were Terry McGinnis, I do kind of fit into that archetype. But I don't feel like that's me. Like, I don't feel like I belong there. I do think like the atmosphere works. That's why it's like putting Impulse in Neo Gotham makes a lot of sense. And also he's going through change and stuff, and I'm sure that all reflects a lot of stuff I'm going through in my life, and that's what I love about writing, because I just learned so much about myself from all of this. Anyways, if I'm looking at my phone, here's some of the characters that I have if I start reading them. So I don't know like a concept and name for this plot. I have so many ideas I'm going to get to when I start writing them and tell you about them. But like Bart Allen, emotionally intelligent, impulsive, brash, witty, stoic, expressive. The 19-year-old is the head of the team, a born leader. So actually, that's just how I see myself, I guess. But a born leader, somebody called me that before. So I just use it. I use it a few times because like that actually is so cool, isn't it? Imagine one of your best friends in middle school, they get to say one thing about you. I don't know, maybe it's like they got it from online, they got it from a book, maybe they said it to multiple people. But no, like why would they even say that? Just like make me feel better about myself? It's like, no, like they actually thought that about me. And it wasn't like backhanded or anything. It was just like, it's like sweet. like what? Imagine calling your friend a leader. Are you serious? Like that's so badass. Like he was a leader too, my friend, you know what I mean? Because that's what leaders do. I actually saw that in a Muha thing. like the little cards today on TikTok. That's funny. I'm just gonna make it really simple. We're not gonna go like, we're not gonna make big chapter names or anything. We're just gonna make it this a whole line. We're just gonna write the whole thing out right here. We're gonna make it a thick page or whatever. This goes left to right. I got other characters. Here's who I want to involve as well. Terry McGinnis, Batman. So I think Bart and Terry, right away, huge relationship there. So I didn't write a description for Terry, but he is... Can I just Google it? Yeah. Who is Terry McGinnis? Oh, there's no AI on here? Okay, I know exactly who he is. I don't know why I searched it up. He is Batman of the future. I am making this all present tense. Also, on top of that, this might be a little confusing, but I really like the Arkham universe. So my concept of Batman, I would just like to adapt all of the Arkham stuff and just put it here, except for the Suicide Squad kills the Justice League game. And then that's just what it is. Like, Batman ended at night. The Justice League and stuff exists. Like, I'd assume Flash's story is similar, like the CW show, and then I'd assume our Superman. I don't like Man of Steel and stuff, but I think if I just imagine Henry Cavill there doing what he could have done, or something like that, that's my Superman in this universe. I don't actually like I'm not full on like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a movie, and those are the people that are gonna be casted. I want Jensen Ackles as my Batman. And Jacob Elordi is my Red Hood, just to throw him out there. But no. So Terry McGinnis, his dad in the future, is a cop, kind of like Jim Gordon, and his parents are divorced. I don't think that super matters to the story, but anyways, this is a little bit of a spoiler for the whole show. Amanda Waller rewrote Terry's dad's genetic code. So pretty much like this isn't what literally what happened, I don't think, but this is pretty much what happened. She took out his semen and put in Bruce Wayne's semen. So his dad would pretty much make Bruce Wayne's babies without being Bruce Wayne. I don't know if babies is true, but at least one of them. So Terry McGinnis is Bruce Wayne's child, sort of like Damian Wayne, or in a sense his genetic clone, I guess, because I don't know how it works exactly, but that's how they explain it in the show. I think it just more means he's his son. So it's pretty much like his mom had a son with Bruce Wayne, but most of Bruce's DNA is there because it's science and stuff. That doesn't really matter. It's just more I think it's more emotional tension. Or maybe it's supposed to say how Spider-Man in every universe, there's a Spider-Man and something like that. I think that's their way of saying whether it's that's what's kind of ambiguous about it. It's was Amanda Waller, was this meant to happen, or did Amanda Waller make it happen so that way it could seem prophesized or something like that? I wonder how things fell into place and why they thought they had to genetically make a new Batman. But yeah, I guess that's what they did. So I like that. I'm just making this all happen. It's 2025 fall. That's the setting. Let's write that down. Actually, it's hard. guys. Let's say autumn. Why? Because it adds 3 letters. Also, 2025 autumn. Ooh, bit of a Gilmore Girls vibe going into here now. Rather than fall, it's more dark and rainy. I don't know. So Terry McGinnis pretty much just right away becomes Batman. He's just good at it, which kind of all makes sense, and you just let it slide because he's so nonchalant that it works as Batman. And then he also has this girlfriend, and I really like his relationship with her. She's the ideal girlfriend. You know what I mean? She never goes out and has to party or anything crazy. I mean, she could do that, but it wouldn't be a girl's night for no reason, you feel? and then eventually he then proposes to her. So I just want to tell you all this stuff I want to do with their relationship real quick. He also has this relationship with a character named Ten, and Ten is part of a supervillain gang. It's sort of like his version of Catwoman, but it's its own thing, and I love that for him because he doesn't need his own Catwoman, even though he does have an absolute Catwoman. She's a baddie too with her suit, and she also has superpowers. But I think I'm going to adapt it slightly differently here. Still figuring everything out, how to plot it together. But you see, I have all these ideas. It's like, damn, if you really think about it, like Catwoman herself could be her own season if you really wanted to like make Catwoman that girl. But Terry, he's kind of like that. I don't know. He's the same age as Bart, but he's got that broody. Like I don't really see him as like a college kid, but he's probably like college age, like attending it. But he's more blue collar, but badass. Like he's not like the SpongeBob construction meme. You know what I mean? He's like intelligent and curious, I think. So I think Batman and Impulse, because he's Batman in this universe, Terry McGinnis, have a really cool, fresh dynamic. It kind of gives them like brotherly best friend vibes. I feel like Seth and Ryan from the OC or something like that, maybe. So next we have Tim Drake, Red Robin, and at first I was thinking like, oh, do I even put Tim Drake in here? And maybe I'll still take him out. Fuck it, only need 4 main characters. But Tim Drake, overly analytical, logical, and emotionally cool, a grounded thinker, exceptionally smart, intelligent, funny, emotional, stagnant, brave, witty, impulsive, and exuberant. 18 years old. That's a lot of stuff for Tim Drake. I think it all describes him well though. And so a lot of that is like, when I think about Tim Drake, I'm thinking about in the story, the aspect like reflecting, how am I reflecting things? Instead I'm like, I have a lot of clarity right now. I feel like full of it for Spider-Man. That's why I'm not writing it right now. And I'm just taking a step back. It's not over. I'm still working on it, but I just need like a brain break, which happens sometimes. That's literally perfectly okay. But I love that series so much and I feel the love for it every day. But it's just pulling so much out of me, and it's like, holy, I'm making 11 seasons. I just got to stop here. Like, all this is really good content. I'll come back to it. So right here, I really want to like prove it. Like, I don't need to base everything off myself. I know I don't need to prove anything, but it would just be so cool to see like I can actually create a plot with characters, and it's like they're so fleshed out and everything makes sense, and it's like that's ideal. Like that's romance, and that's action, and that's friendship and mentorship and everything that goes into it. When I think of Tim Drake, I think of my friends growing up. Like, you know how I said earlier, one of them called me a born leader? Like, that's the type of guy Tim Drake is. So that's why I'm making him with Impulse. I am starting this series with Impulse fresh into getting his powers. This is his origin story. He is not from the future. Impulse is actually also from the future. And in this, I'm not really going into his origin. I know in the New 52, they also didn't do that with Bart, and it was like one of his worst character flaws. But I kind of like want to reference that in a way, and not that I want it to be known. I don't want it to be like something ambiguous and so mysterious, like he just spawned out of nowhere. I want it to be a reflection of me. So like he's not in contact with his family right now, but he's still close with all his siblings, and he is still who he is, and like stuff molded him to be who he was. Because I was thinking about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, could I just make Bart Allen? Could I make him Barry Allen's son? And I could sort of reflect that dynamic with my father and how he's always praised, even though in my eyes he's not a very moral man. Like, could I do that with the Flash and have it be like that sort of aspect? If that makes sense, like fatherly pressure or whatever. But I don't know. Like I don't know what that would be, but it was an idea that I considered, and I don't think I'm gonna go that direction. But I don't know what to do with Bart Allen, other than just reflect myself. Like he's living in hotels right now. He wants to be a movie star. That's really all I'm at with him. I know he's the team leader. I know he's almost the glue. I don't know if like they're all the glue. Like they can't be a team without each other. But like he is the emotional heart, I think it's called. I don't know why I use my hands to signal that heart. So when I think about Tim Drake and aspects, I think about my friends and like who they've been throughout my life, like all different sorts of friends, and just like I can see Tim Drake as those people in those moments, and now I'll know how to like work through writing him in conversations, and that's like the funnest part of writing is like developing their relationships and how they talk to each other and who they are together. Cassie Sandsmark, Wonder Girl, is such a baddie. Is such a baddie. I don't care if she's like drawn on paper. That's so cool too, that you could like draw something that attractive. Wow, it's a really interesting, deep thought to think about. Someone who thinks all the time. Interesting and interested in learning. An adventurous spirit, alluring, troublemaker, mischievous, and kind-hearted, beautiful and bold, 18 years old, granddaughter of Zeus, allegedly the daughter of Ares. I think that's an old adaptation because in a main DC, usually, sometimes, like half the time, she's just the straight up daughter of Zeus. I don't know which way I'm leaning. I like that it's ambiguous like that. I think maybe like both. They're gay. I'm just joking. Zeus and Ares, that's so fucked up to say that. I'm about to get smited. But I think I wrote allegedly the daughter of Ares. Like, that's what the perceived notion is, right? She's the daughter of Ares. That's how she's powerful and stuff. But really, in reality, it's Zeus. And Ares is just taking the blame. And I also like that because he's a villain. It's kind of giving him a Doctor Doom aspect in the DC universe, which I never really like know about Ares in superhero media. So that'd be cool to see. Kara Zor-El Danvers. So Zor-El is her alien name. Supergirl. Optimistic, rageful, lonely girl with astounding might. A positive influence, innovative, analytical, and independent. She's 18 years old. So Kara and Cassie, you can see here, I didn't really describe them as the hottest fucking girls in the world. Even though maybe when I described them, you like perceive them as that, because that's how I describe them. In my mind, like, this is who they are and this is what makes them attractive, not just their looks or appearance, even though I couldn't describe that. Like, I'm sure I put some really fine pictures of Cassie Sandsmark on the screen. But, I don't need to write that. And also, they're both just blonde girls. Well, that's not all they are. But anyways, I don't know why I said that. Cassie Sandsmark, I like the idea of her. So what I really like is a relationship between Wonder Woman and Batman. Like just normal Wonder Woman, normal Batman. Like from the DC Unlimited or the Justice League Unlimited series and stuff like that. It's mostly the main reference you can pull for the relationship. I really like how they communicate in that, and I've always it's always made me want Batman and Wonder Woman together, because I feel like it just makes a lot of sense. I really like when they make Batman grounded and human, but they make her so godlike, but still has humanity. And like, I don't like when they like, there's like this Bat God in Batman. He's like Barbados or something. I don't like when they go that so heavy with Batman, and it makes him feel like this primordial god almost. Like he's just he's this constant in the universe, and he's like human, but I don't know, like the way they make Bruce Wayne hyped up so much. I don't know why I'm going into this. I just really wanted to like make that clear. I don't like that about their relationship. But what I do like about it is how grounded they are, and how like they're like each other's other half, but they're the same person. That's how it feels. And that is so romantic. I really want to reflect that with like Terry and Cassie, but like they just don't have it. They just don't have the chemistry. Like they could probably have conversations and care about each other because they're friends, but I haven't even thought about it until right now, and they just don't have it. That's why. But you know who does? Bart Allen. Maybe it's just a little bit of me reflecting too much, but oh my gosh, right now I can't decide on the love interest, dude. Because I want everyone. I want everyone. I want Cassie Sandsmark. I want Kara Zor-El. I want Stephanie Brown, Batgirl. She's headstrong, outgoing, and upbeat. Stephanie's quick to make friends and unwilling to take no for an answer. Warm and caring. She can take time to open up, but she is very formal and chatty, often oversharing. She's 19 years old. I love Stephanie Brown. She's like my favorite Batgirl. She is my favorite Batgirl. So that's why I'm using her. Because one time in the library, I asked the library in my middle school, I'm like, can you guys get this DC encyclopedia? They got it. And I know I checked it out like the most, but my friends would too a few times. Because that's cool. Like Braden got the library to get the encyclopedia. They like superheroes too. They're going to read it. Anyways, I checked it out the most, so I would always like be seeing what's in it. And Batgirl, she was such a baddie. You know that friend that called me a leader? I used to make him date Batgirl, which is just a little bit of a, like, I think it's like a middle school thing, right? Like, oh, I have a crush on somebody, I'm going to make them date her. It's not a cuck thing. I didn't even know what that was back then. It's like, oh, I can see this working. These are two people I care about, and I just don't fully know what both those feelings mean yet. Or at least, like, the girl feeling. You know what I mean? So those are my main cast of characters. Bart Allen, Terry McGinnis, Tim Drake, Cassie Sandsmark, Kara, and Stephanie. But I really think I'm going to make Bart and Cassie like the main couple. Can anybody else feel that? I just think by the end, like by the, I don't know, like 3 seasons in, is by the end of it probably, she and him will like there won't be any animosity for dating other people during the series, and it'll just be like they've grown into loving each other by this point of the series, and they can just be in a relationship now. So that's super exciting. And then also, you know how I wanted to make myself Batman at one point, and I'm projecting myself as Bart. I want to be Bart. Like that's who I see in the role. I'm imagining it most of the time, and so I can have that Batman and Wonder Woman relationship. It's just going to mean that Impulse and Wonder Girl have a relationship, and I still love that because what I want. If he was with Supergirl, I think that could work just as well as with Cassie. Well, I think Cassie would work better. That's why I choose her. But Supergirl, she's got her own like half to her going on because she has this whole side of her that I'm going to explore probably with becoming a Red Lantern, and she has this whole Lantern part of her story, and that's pretty cool. And then also she's an alien. She's like super independent, and I just like how hyper she is as a hero, like strong, smart. So I also want to add other characters like Jason Todd. I think it'd be cool. Artemis, Simon Dark. You're probably wondering who is Simon Dark. Let me see if I wrote down. I literally did. Okay, here, I'm actually going to copy all these characters because these are other characters I had ideas for. That was Blackfire and literally he's right here. Calderon, Jackson Hyde, which is Aqua Lad, the newer one, the black one. That is literally what he is, but I like him more than Tempest is what he goes by, the old Aqua Lad. And why do I need to say I like him more? Do I need to throw that out there? I'm just like comparing to how they made Wally West. They made two Wallace West, and I like Jackson Hyde. He's a good character, and Wallace West is like Miles Morales, but not. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they saw Marvel did that, so they're like, oh yeah, Flash is one of our biggest characters, but they didn't realize Wally West Kid Flash was actually a bigger character. Even if people see him as Flash for longer, or like he was the better Flash, like bro, Barry is the Flash, Barry Allen. Whew, a lot of superhero talk. Feels like I'm choking on superhero dick. For real, because my mouth's like drying up. Let me read about Simon Dark. I think he's a really cool character. So Simon Dark had like this mini series, I think. He's a Gotham vigilante. And I don't know if he had any crossovers, but it's pretty much like if DC like attempted to do horror, a lot of Marvels or a lot of comic book companies at the time were experimenting in horror, and like there's a lot of series called like, I think it's just because it's easier to print, but like Black, White, and Red or something like that, or like Black, White, and Blood, and it'll just be like black and white printing with red on top of it. And so I'm guessing it was like around that era when everything wanted to be like dark and gritty. But I think this was cool that came out of it because it's sort of like its own horror element, like a slasher. Or it's like a voodoo slasher. Like it just taps like the same sort of elements as Friday the 13th, but it's a superhero. I'm pretty sure he's good. A mysterious new vigilante operating out of Gotham City. He seems to have been created from a number of 17 dead bodies, and he has no memory of any of them. He remembers everything he reads and has supernatural strength, amazingly resilient regeneration ability, and is impervious to bullets and amputation. Advanced hand-to-hand combatant, lives in an abandoned church in Gotham Village, naive to be endearing. So naive. So I wrote this a while ago. Like a naive to be endearing. Does that mean like he plays at it? Like he knows. That's so cool. If he doesn't understand much about society and civilization, but reads and learns what he can form his face temporarily into one of the 17 faces on his body in order to maintain a human facade. It takes immense focus. He'd rather just not. Rather, the typical pulled apart entire body, it's only his face. It's only his faces that is disfigured, like stitched together skin on his face, and he looks soulless behind like black. Simon has the ability to summon magic, I would think, at least a form he has come to learn. Mouth is getting a little dry. So I also have other characters like Arrowhead, and I guess I mostly just explained it here. But what I really wanted to get to was writing it. Physically writing it. Like, here's what I have so far for the blueprint. Here's how it kind of goes out, and I don't like don't steal this. Like don't copy this from me, but this is just like, I wrote this October 10th at 6:20 p.m. Just like the rough ideas of what I have for the season, what I want. Episode 1 will be called Rebirth. That is a spin on DC Rebirth after New 52. They reset their universe and they called it all Rebirth, and those were the story names. It'd be cool to reference that. Episode 2, Bard and Terry. I really want to build on that dynamic with Bard and Terry right away. I think Terry's first mission, because he's only like 2 months into being Batman. Same with Bart. Bart's fresh into having his super speed when we start the series. It's not his origin story. We don't see his origin in the first episode. It's like he's already has his powers. It's already established. It's like me. I've already came into my becoming. But it doesn't mean he's fully accomplished as a hero yet. Still has a lot to do. I also want to make this clear. What else I want about Bart's origin? Because he is like the center. He grew up in Gotham. Um, and my Gotham in this universe takes place where Superior and Duluth, Wisconsin, or Superior, Wisconsin is, and Duluth, Minnesota is. I think that's a beautiful location for Gotham in the world. Like literally, like prime, like prime spot for just Gotham to exist. It just looks like it would. Like you can imagine the islands and everything, like Bruce Wayne's Island and Arkham Island existing out there too. It's so crazy. Off the shore, and then the bridges that connect it, it just feels like Gotham City. There's like stuff to go over there. Yeah, I just like the vibe, and it's also got that cold industrial vibe that I think matches Gotham perfectly the way Pittsburgh and New York City couldn't in the in those movies. So that's why I don't think it's like an East Coast town. I don't think it's like a any coast town really, except for like a big lake, like a Great Lake. It would be insane. I think that's like literally prime location for Batman to be. And then everything, if Gotham existed there, they should have trains going like out of Wisconsin everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, is that too crazy to ask for? Like a fast train to just get you from New York to Wisconsin? I don't know. Like it's 2025, you know what I mean? You would have thought they would have built that by now. I mean, I think that's the problem. Like, you can't just simply build it, but why not? Like, why hasn't it happened yet? So in fiction, I like that I get to just like, it's my universe, my world. Like, it did happen in here. It did. Because why wouldn't it have? Just makes everything more convenient. If somebody actually wants to answer that, I am curious, but hopefully I don't sound like ignorant or stupid. Episode 4 doesn't have a plot. I also didn't even finish talking. I also didn't say episode 3. I didn't finish talking about what I was saying. Bart grows up in Gotham. I want him to be like, I'm saying Tim. I reflect for my friends. I would want Bart and Tim to grow up as best friends, relatively, until like, obviously Bart is living in hotels at this stage in his life. And I would assume he didn't do his senior year of high school as well, because I'm writing him, so I know that he didn't. And then I think a lot of people can see somebody like me, and they're going to be able to see that in Bart, and they're going to be like, oh wow, someone like Bart, like that's me, and they're going to relate to that, and that's just like, this is the way to do it. And they're going to feel seen. And that's what would make me feel better, knowing that they're not alone. I wouldn't have to deal with that all alone. But Cassie Sandsmark also grew up in Gotham City, growing up in high school. So I want them to all have gone to the same school together. Maybe it's like more relatively like a smaller school. Like I'd assume, because there's Gotham's like millions population wise. So there's got to be multiple schools there. They probably could have gone to like an academy or something together. And I wouldn't think they would know each other's like superheroes and stuff. I mean, like Tim and Cassie might know their origins, but Bart wouldn't be like, Tim Drake Robin? Especially since like the first half of Tim's life, he wasn't even Robin. So they're just friends casually, naturally. And then after that, it's not even like I don't think Tim being Robin would have any effect on him and Impulse's relationship, other than they just grew distance. That's literally normal. So now they're coming back, and it's like they have something. It's like they have a tie to bring them together, rather than just trying to force a relationship. And then he also has that. It's sort of like that deja vu, like, or what would it be called? Like, it's just a past crush, like childhood crush, and both of them probably feel sort of thing, especially when Bart first meets Kara. I think it'd be a really cool scene where Cassie is like she's not like obviously overly jealous, but it's like she kind of recognizes like, oh, he's not always going to be the guy who just sits there and waits for me, even though she never really saw him like that. You know what I mean? That's just like, it's just kind of like the power you think you have over somebody when they chase you like that for part of your life. But when she sees this, it's not going to like force any type of relationship. It's going to force a reaction maybe. Or she holds jealousy, which could grow into friendship with Kara, because I think casting Kara is going to be like really fun dynamic. And also Steph, 6 main characters, kind of nuts. It's really just 5 main characters, and Stephanie is in like half the episodes like a reoccurring character. But yeah, I like her attention too. I don't want to make her like primarily dating Tim right away. I don't want that to be like what she is that girlfriend. So boom, Impulse also gets to flirt with her a little bit. Okay. Episode 3, my weakness. Supergirl's strength is put to the test when she's exported. That's not what I meant to say. I want a villain like Metallo to fight her. So what did I meant to say instead of exported? When she's like weakened? I don't know why I wrote that. I think I was trying to say something else. Anyways, I want that episode to be about, it's going to show like how strong Kara is, her resilience. Like, she's the powerhouse of the team, right? Who do we got? Wonder Girl, Batman, Impulse, super powerful. He's a speedster. In my universe, he'd be the fastest speedster like ever. And even in the comics, he hits that feat before. So, Robin and Supergirl would be the 5th one. So I think she's obviously the strongest. And because she's like a Kryptonian and all of that going into it, this would be a great episode for us to grow together as a team. It's like because I still have to like, obviously there's only one bullet point there. Like in episode 3 is probably like after me and Terry meet each other, episode 3 would have to be the first episode where we come together and we really start to establish like this is the first time we work together as a team. And Kara probably gets affected during it with the villain. And it's just going to have to show how strong she can be and if she can beat them. I don't know. I just think it's a powerful feat for her early in the series. And I just want to show her overcoming that so that way she's not defined by her anger and her rage. I think. Episode 4 doesn't have a plot. Episode 5, Catwoman Beyond. Introduce Stephanie Brown Batgirl. So we're back in Neo Gotham probably, which is good. It's probably where most of the series is going to take place. In Neo Gotham, Terry, Batman, meets new Catwoman. Her suit is advanced like the Batman Beyond suit. I want the villain to be Solomon Grundy here. Maybe I'll like end up changing that or something. I just felt like that'd be a good, grounded, quick villain for Stephanie Brown to deal with. To show her as Batgirl. I feel like she could discard him maybe with the help of her teammates, but in Neo Gotham, Terry meets new Catwoman. I just think this is going to be like a quick little tension thing. It's going to kind of show like who Terry is. He's fresh out of his breakup with his girl, Tana Dan, I think her name is. And I eventually want them to get back together. They're like one of my favorite couples here, Terry and Tana. So I would eventually want like, and I want it to be when they're young too, like in their 20s, because he's like 19 right now. I would want him to propose to her. And I think that'd be really romantic when they get back together because like they had to break up because he's Batman and he doesn't want her to get hurt, I'd assume. Or like she broke up with him because of that. And I'm just going to work my way to getting them back together. I don't really want to make her Catwoman or anything. I like the idea that she is like his grounding human piece and like she breaks the mold of what it means to be Batman. Like Bruce tells him himself that he doesn't have to be defined by being his son. And so Terry takes his own path. And then it's going to show, because I want him to have a few relationships like this, like with the character 10, but I want that one to be a little more intimate than this one with Catwoman. It's just like quick tension and fun and allure and character development, I think. And then we'll obviously have more happen in the episode other than just introducing Batgirl. But episode 6, Like, this is just a rough sketch, all of this. Rough draft. Roughest, not even a rough draft. The Six. Bart, Tim, Terry, Carr, and Cassie decide to form a team called the Six. Bart says it's a spin on a band. Daisy Jones and the Six. Have you ever read that book or seen that show? I only saw the show. So freaking good. Great soundtrack. But suggests Stephanie could be their sixth member. I actually wrote the plot for the Six without Stephanie in mind on the main team. So I was like, oh, wait a minute. I only have 5 characters. Like, I wrote the Six. I wrote down everything leading up. Daisy Jones and the Six. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Why are they called the Six? There's only 5. And I'm like, oh, Stephanie. Like, I didn't just add her. Like, she was already in the cast. I just wasn't even thinking about her. I'm like, oh, because she wasn't, like, it would just be too crowded if she was, like, mainly there. And I know that. But if they're doing it this way, it's a call to Daisy Jones and the Six, literally. Also, it's a call to the Justice League because Shazam's once he's like, so what do we call ourselves? The Super 7? It's a call back to that, in a way. And then Terry mumbles something about a junior Justice League. Tim calls it a Young Justice. Oh my gosh. That was good. A little punny. The joke there is this Daisy Jones and the Six, they only have 6 members because the sixth one is Billy's wife, which is the main singer of the band. So there's only 5 members when they sing, but the 6 is her because she's what holds them together. She's the girl of the group, or whatever. Like the mother of the group. I mean, not the girl, because there's 2 girls. Episode 7, Full House. Call back to Full House. Guys, what is this? Did you see anything impressive line? I said that to a girl. So that was me. Like, I wrote it down because it was like pre-firing a message. So like I copied it and then I pasted it into chat. Okay. That is wild. Full House. Call back to Full House, the show. Building collapses and they say, maybe she got already? I think I saw that in a TikTok comment or something. So then I took it here and I put it here. Criminal Marvin Fargo is friends fling with fired Arkham guard Benny Kiss. I read that. I was reading it's like a Comic Vine. I use Comic Vine for most of my research, which I hear isn't very good. But like what I like about Comic Vine is I'll be like Spider-Man villains list Comic Vine. It'll give me like a list of hundreds of villains for Spider-Man, like his entire gallery, and like that's where you go and find it, rather than like Marvel's website or something. That's what I like to do because it shows pictures and gives them tiny descriptions usually. But a lot of people don't like Comic Vine because of power scaling or something like that. Anyways, I read about Marvin Fargo and Benny Kiss on Joker. It was like Joker's friends list on Comic Vine, and I just thought like, oh, I could use that. It's like a gay relationship. I'd use that. There's just a lot you can do there, like writing wise. But I liked their names. I like that he's an Arkham guard. I just feel like Joker's not gonna be homophobic, but like he can joke about it or something. Like he just doesn't expect it. It's just like random. I don't know. So that's why I wrote it down, because it could be it could be like an ongoing joke, not like to make fun that they're gay. That's terrible. I don't even need to mention that, but it can be an ongoing joke. Like these two are together, and like that's just like one's a criminal, one's an Arkham guard, but he's a corrupt Arkham guard. It's just like what are you doing? I don't know. And then maybe there's something like bad there. I really hope not. I think it's fine. Let me know what you think about that. I'm very considerate about how I write it, though. So I think that is just my own mind being reflective on that. Terry, Batman, and 10 show romantic tension. She helps him get away. Actually, that's what Full House is. Full House, it's called back to Full House, the show. Full House, because it's the Ace Gang. They're the villains here, the Ace Gang. I didn't write that. Oh, a mission takes place where the Six need to infiltrate the Ace Gang. Yeah. Episode 8, One Bad Day. Riddler's origin explained. The Riddler plays mind games with each member of the Six. You didn't even expect that. Yeah, Riddler's the season villain. I think adapting this storyline of One Bad Day, it's a Batman storyline. There's a joke. The Joker did a story called One Bad Day where he paralyzes Batgirl. If you didn't know, that's how it happened. Where she becomes Oracle and she's in a wheelchair now. And then he takes inappropriate pictures of her. Very like this is terrible, this is horrible, this is awful, this is like traumatic comic. Literally, that's the whole point of it. Because what he does is he takes Commissioner Gordon, he strips him naked, he straps him in a carnival ride, a roller coaster, and then he forces him to go through the ride and look at pictures of his now disabled daughter naked on the ground, bleeding, and the Joker took the pictures. That's so fucked up. But One Bad Day, it's actually all Riddler's plan, I'm pretty sure. That was the whole thing behind it. That Joker didn't even come up with it. That Riddler thought it all out. He like figured it out, and he decided to just hand it off to Joker. Like that would be the real One Bad Day. You know what I mean? Like he executed all this for it to be, or no. He like, what would it be called? Manipulated all this so that way Joker could execute it. And it was like that's how it was. Like Joker executed it as if it was his thing. Like that's how it felt. But Riddler was like behind it all, and it doesn't feel like it was Joker. It doesn't feel like Riddler overtakes that event just because he created it. Because what it gave Riddler was his own event. What he did was he went and he just kills this random father, this innocent person. I'm pretty sure, he just kills him, and he goes to Arkham. He gets arrested. And then Batman keeps interrogating people like around Riddler's circle, trying to find out why would Riddler do this. And I'm pretty sure Riddler just did it just because he's innocent. Like he didn't do anything wrong. Riddler just he just wanted to talk to Batman. I'm pretty sure. Like that's his reason in jail. He's saying he wants to talk to Batman, but there was no reason to kill this man. He just did it just because, and he's always going to live with that. But like that's that, and it goes into Riddler's origin. He had this like teacher who was really hard on him, I think. I don't know if it was like really he was hard on him, or the teacher didn't like him, or the teacher like genuinely wanted what's good for him and didn't understand that Riddler was being abused by his father. But Riddler's mom is a prostitute. So Riddler's father abused him and told him he has to be smart so that way he can never, like he has to like really learn and get his grades good so he can never mess up. And like be like his mother or be shamed for being the son of a prostitute. So I think by the end of the story, Batman goes back to Riddler's like father's house or something. I don't know if his father's alive, and that's the climax. But pretty much it's Riddler's origin, and it shows how smart he is. It shows that he does this for no reason. Maybe just because he's like, I think he's like tired of just trying to like prove that he can outsmart villains. It's more like, or prove that he can outsmart these heroes and that they can't be smarter than him. It's more like prove their ways of morality are wrong to them, and here's why. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But anyways, Impulse has his own comic, because I've read all the Impulse comics, most of them at least, and the Riddler is the villain in that. And it reminds me of like this Lego set with the Flash and Riddler and the Batmobile. But that comic, pretty much Impulse, like every step of the way, like Riddler places bombs under a few houses in the city, and Riddler's like, you're gonna have to go disable them. And then Impulse like runs back, you know what I mean? Like just did it, and he already has like 3 bombs done, like while Riddler's talking still. Like all 3 bombs, he already got them all. And he's like, I just checked every house instead of like waiting for him to talk. So it was that quick. Like he beat Riddler like multiple times in the same comic. Like it was all in a row pretty much. He just kept besting him, like beating his riddles. So it's like this 19-year-old, this know-it-all, he thinks he's like Like that's how Riddler's seeing him, right? He's like, this kid just like destroyed me worse than Batman ever has in like the matter of 10 minutes, just because I wanted to like get out of Gotham and thought I could try other heroes out. Like what? So it really has to eat at him, and I feel like he could hold this whole personal vendetta against the Impulse himself. Maybe sort of like since the start of the season, he's like tracking him. Like I think I could even have that. I could even have this Riddler moment happen at the start of the season, and then you could sort of see like the psyche break. I mean, it wouldn't just be like a snap. It'd be like, it would be like that though. It would be like something in his like brain broke. He like realizes I am doing this all wrong. Here's how I'm going to do it, and then he does it. He does his one bad day moment here, but it's to my league. Like it's to my the sixth, and that's what I'm gonna get to writing next time. Well, I thought that was good to explain it all. Really, because maybe some people have some stuff to reflect back. I know I said that word a lot. I repeated a lot of words today, but I really just appreciate you watching and listening to me rant about superheroes. Maybe it's like, this is a little bit useless. Is this what he could have done with his day? But I think what I'm doing right now, this work, is important and does matter. And I mean, I have fun doing it. This is what I do with my time. And I'm just glad I'm able to. I'm very thankful. I'm very grateful. Just kind of showing you the process of how I do it. This is usually how it goes. Usually I do all that thinking that I went through, and then I don't get past this most times, but I'm really going to try to for y'all so I can show you what I'm thinking. Like one time my teacher put my example of my work on, like we were all writing books in class. She put my work on the screen, and it usually like, because I always start my books off good in class. Not to be like bragging or anything. I always start my novels off beautiful when I had to write them for school, but I would always just like not be inspired about like the class topic we're doing usually, so I would just end them hastily. Like that class, it was like a 9/11 story, and I ended it just like super abruptly. You know the movie Remember Me. Imagine like Remember Me, but it's like right after she get the scene where she like cuts her hair or whatever. Like right after that, then 9/11 happens and he's just dead. Spoiler. So it was just like super wild. I can't even remember that story. Maybe I'll read it sometime. But I like used baby talk, and she read out the baby talk to the class. It was so embarrassing. But she's like, here's how you use it. Here's how you use baby talk, everybody. Like, because I was like going my own method. Like I knew how to write at that stage in 7th grade, but she was saying pretty much like, this is the standard. I mean, if she's showing the whole class, right? And we weren't working off that standard. So she was like, actually, I'm just realizing now, she was expanding on more that we weren't even like going through in the class by like my line of dialogue right there. That same teacher, I also got a book. Like I won in her class. She had this like event, or it was like we had a slideshow, and we had to put like a meme on the slideshow. We had to create our own meme. So what I did was just simply just a picture of me. I said, oh, no, wait. I think it was a picture of her. I'm like, can you come here? Can I take a picture of you? And then I did. And then I'm like, what's she thinking about? It's a thought bubble. And then a picture of me. And I said, her favorite student. And like me and that teacher aren't even like that or anything. So it was just like so funny, because like, I wonder what I made her think. Like, I feel like she did kind of have that like, oh, okay. Like, huh. Didn't know he liked me that much type of student. But it was just cool. It's cool that I won that. And then also one of my friends won that too. And she also got her own book. So me and her both got to pick out books to buy. I probably could have got something cooler, but at the time I just got like, there's these series where it was like DC superheroes, but in middle school. So it was like the Fortress of Solitude, but it was like, or it was like the Fort of Solitude was one of them. Yeah. There's like one about detention and they go to the Phantom Zone. It's crazy. That is that. Okay. Just thought I'd show you some writing. Talk you through what I've been working through lately. Really appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great day and whatever you're up to.